Well, welcome everyone to Adevinta, to this afternoon's event, in which we will talk about data infrastructure, machine learning, and how these two worlds merge together. Well, this event has been organized by Juan Fernandez and Marta Diaz here from Adevinta, and we have our amazing guest, Karina Gibert, with us. So the agenda for this evening is, first, I will give some words about Adevinta. Then Marta and Juanfra will explain their talk, and then Karina will talk about AI and applications. At the end, we will have like a contest, a Kahoot-like event with prizes. And after that, we will have a common Q&A session. So if you have any question, wait until the end, and we can discuss together the topics that will be covered during the talks. And after that, we will have pizza and drinks in the other side of the corridor. So there we can chat even more. Okay, so let's just start with Adevinta. Well, sorry, I have not introduced myself. My name is Didac Fortuny. I am data scientist in InfoJobs. That is one of the brands of Adevinta. And I work together with Juanfra in the same team, and with Marta, we collaborate often. If you have some questions about how we use machine learning or data science in InfoJobs or Adevinta, we can also discuss it later. Okay, so what is Adevinta and what we do here? Adevinta is a marketplace specialist. This means that we run a lot of different web portals in which people exchange second-hand items. We are present in many countries around Europe mainly, and also in America with all these local brands. In order to explain like the values, the mission, and the way of working of Adevinta, we have prepared a video, so I will leave you with it. I hope it works well.
At Adevinta, sustainable commerce can be a lot of things. Making space for new things, finding and closing an awesome deal, or it can be that hard-to-find gift for your favorite person. Your second-hand choices might feel too small to make a difference, but when they happen in diverse communities and accumulate in numbers, together they make a big impact. We are Adevinta, and we believe in a world that trades better. We bring together industry expertise, technology, and a diverse culture in the online classified space. Our leading brands are reimagining commerce every day. We are connecting people to make more sustainable choices by helping everything and everyone find a new purpose. Be it said hard-to-find gift or that awesome deal, we are there at every meaningful moment in your life. And while our hearts beat for local markets, our impact goes beyond borders. With every second-hand trade, we are shaping Europe and the world towards inclusive societies, a healthier environment, and thriving economies. Championing for sustainable commerce. We are Adevinta, changing commerce together.
Okay, in terms of, this is the introduction to Adevinta in terms of what we do and our mission. In terms of the tech hubs, the main offices of the company, you are in one of them. Barcelona is one of the main tech hubs of Adevinta. We also have offices in Paris, Amsterdam, and Berlin, and other smaller offices in other cities like Milan, Madrid, etc. So if you want to know more about Adevinta or any of the brands, again, we can discuss it later with the pizza and drinks, because now it's time to start with the first talk of this afternoon with Marta and Juanfra. So the stage is yours.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Didac.
Thanks, Didac.
You and me.
It's yours.
Okay, so we are very happy. We truly appreciate your assistance here. And well, we will talk about data infrastructure, Marta, and ML, Juanfra. So What we will be in today, first of all, who we are and why this presentation starts in our mind time ago. Our day-to-day as a PM data platform at Adevinta Spain and part of Juan ML, data infrastructure realities versus machine learning realities. So we will talk about not the final result, all the things that happens before, working together, our challenge and learning, and finally, the conclusion. So let's start with us. Yeah, as I said, my name is Marta. I'm product manager data platform at Adevinta Spain. I had started time ago in Leroy Merlin, launching what we call the data office, starting the journey being data-driven, and starting with the first ML models with artificial intelligence that as the first data product owner there with the first quick win, we start creating a model that it runs perfect in the local environment. It was perfect. But in the moment that we want to launch it into production environment, it happens a lot of things because not all runs at the same as in the local environment. We have to think about how to solve a lot of challenge about data infrastructure, about a lot of things. And well, it takes time to put this model into production. So, and now I'm on the dark side, the side of the data infrastructure, and trying to help that these things doesn't happen, or trying to accelerate the other things for really accelerate the company in the ML. And that's the reason because I'm today here for just sharing this experience and of course, sharing what I have been learning a lot with you, Juanfra.
Well, I'm Juanfra. Thanks for being here to all of you. Well, I started my studies in the Polytechnic University of Catalonia, and there I got my diploma thesis with an NLP project. And after that, I took a detour of 10 years in security, which is not in the slide. And after that, I went back to machine learning in the Amazon search engine, in which I learned that data was needed, was very important for models. And then I moved to Adevinta to help our teams to put our models in production. And let's go for it. Oh, you have the control.
Yes, let's start with our day-to-day for better know. So this is me, this is Marta, this is the data platform. So trying that this happen, trying that our users ingest the data, store into the data lake, start data pipelines, validating the data, cleaning the data, standardizing, and finally put into production a data product that is valuable for the company. And also as an input for this ML model that brings value to the company. And in my day-to-day, what is happening? Well, I have to provide this technical infrastructure that also have to allow that the data be governed, secured, transformed, and also at a scale. So a lot of challenge, because as you know, being compliant is not easy. It's very easy, that, as I said, that the model works in the local environment, what happens with security, with GDPR, with the ethical, and so on. So with all of this, also, I have the challenge to match this scalability with the autonomy for the teams and being sure that this scales and also that it's in a secure environment with SLA, with alerts, and being sure that you control your data and not your data is controlling you.
Okay, according to experts, more than 90% of models never arrive to production. And my day-to-day job is to lower this percentage. So to lower this percentage, what I do is to collaborate in the inference and deployment part of the life cycle in order to make them more performant, more scalable, Dockerized, and repeatable. Okay. And I also, wow, it doesn't work.
You want I put the button?
Try.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, and then I collaborate as well in the training and data gathering phases of the life cycle in order to provide the data scientists with the data in the terms that Marta just explained. Okay.
The power. Now, when data infrastructure, machine learning reality, let's start with when data infrastructure, I'm data infrastructure. Well, one thing I want to share with you is that as a data infrastructure, we are talking not only about infrastructure, we are talking about what is inside, that it's this data. And this data have a data life cycle that are the different stages that data goes through from its creation. So you plan what problem you want to solve. You design which data do you need. You model your data. Then you capture this data. You ingest this data, as we said before. We create, obtain, we store this data. For then, it could happen that once you store, if it's not useful for the company, is the moment to dispose of the data, to purge this data. And then if it makes value for the company, you can use it for making lovely insights and lovely dashboards and lovely models that brings value to the company. And once again, you start, the process continues because you are learning. So you plan how to add more capabilities or more features to this data, and this goes on. But what we have been explained needs different technologies. So when you are planning and designing, you need architecture, you need modeling. When you are trying to capture, create, and obtain, you need the storage and so on. And managing this life cycle means also that this data have to be secured. So you have to think about these rails, this computational governance, this how the process have to happen for being secure. This is the metadata management. That it means that all that is happening with your data, it have to be stored for knowing if there's any problem, and also about the data quality, so important for the models. That's so important, no?
That's
as a data
paramount for the
scientist, very, very important. So, and also, well, we can talk about ethics and about the importance of managing your data. So being a data platform is not only infrastructure. Another thing that it's very important for us also is talking about the data value change. How on the different stages we are increasing value of data, no? And finally, this lovely model that can help the business to make decisions and so on. But what we are trying inside our data platform or our data product platform is that this not only happens at the final, as a final solution, this happens at the previous step. What does it mean? That I love when the DAC or another ML data science are using the same data set for solving different problems. That means that you are very focused on the usability of this data set. That data set brings value to the company also, and also the cleaning data. So the most valuable data could be in every step, not only at the final. Of course, the final is amazing, no? But
incredible, but remaking our experiments is also a great value for us as well.
And well, this is our data infrastructure, the hard part. So as a data infrastructure, we are based on Databricks. We have on the storage, we have Amazon S3. We have also Redshift. And of course, if you have more questions, now is not the moment for the infrastructure. We can talk later. And well, this is the importance of the data infrastructure, of this model that runs very well on local, but what happens when you touch the reality, and what happens when this lovely model can be broken only doing this, like this.
Yeah, this is the weakest link, and we have to take care about it.
Yes, but more things inside this. As I mentioned, the most important thing inside a data platform is the data product, no, itself, that brings value and this reusability. So this is very nice, but we are what we want to bring to our users as Juanfra or as DDAC is not think about the infrastructure, think about what they want to do with this data. So for that reasons, our data infrastructure is what we call a data products platform, because the most important things are the different data products. We can talk about raw data, the first step, the aggregate that are bringing value to the company, and of course the fit for purpose, that is the data set that is using our data science, for example, for making these lovely models. And inside this, we have what we call frameworks, like the Data Product Laboratory. It's a notebook where you can, we will talk later, no, about the dev environment and so on.
We will.
So you can explore your data. You can say, okay, maybe it makes sense to make this data product. Maybe it makes sense this data model. And then once the value is there, you think, okay, I want this governed. I want to be not sure that this, what I mentioned before, no, these bases of the data infrastructure are hard enough. And here we have different solutions based on the infrastructure that we have seen before, is what we call the data ingestion suite, or the data consuming suite, that brings the capability to our users, mixing all the infrastructure we have seen before, the different steps for being sure that this is a robust process for creating these lovely and valuable data products. And it's yours.
Wow. It looks like it's my time. Well, then, whenever you have this kind of lovely data platform, you want to explode it. And you want, it doesn't, it works. No, it works. It's slow, but it works. Okay, but just first start with a little bit of context, okay? Data is important, but why data is important for us? Well, in traditional programming, you already know what is the function you want to implement. You already know how to do it. It can be more or less difficult, but you know it's completely defined. So you implement your function, you put your input, you get your output. But there are problems that you don't have the knowledge to implement the function, so you have to use machine learning. When you use machine learning, it does not work. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. So when you have to implement something with machine learning, what you need is examples. A lot of input data related with the output data, the function you want to implement will out in that case. And you use them to train a model, which is a structure that is capable to infer some of the rules that will be in the function you are approximating, taking the examples as a base. And then you get your approximated function after the training. So this is completely mind-blowing because you programmed nothing. You just provided to a structure some examples, the structure reorganizes itself, and you have an approximation of your function. If you did it well, and the examples are statistically coherent, you will have a very good approximation of the function. Okay, and then, yeah, you go to the inference part, which is when you use that approximated function to make the typical traditional programming computation that is giving an input, you get the output that you don't know in this case, and it's useful for you. Okay. Look at that. The examples, in fact, are a bunch of data. And this is the important part. And this is why the work that Marta does is so important for us, because we need her data to train our models. Okay, this is the typical life cycle. And yeah, we have data gathering in which we get the data from her data platform. We have the training in which we fed this data to our model and we tune it with hyperparameters. We evaluate the model after training. And if it is not matching the criteria that we want for the performance of the model, we can retrain it with different data or even tuning the hyperparameters. And then we have the inference phase, which is when you put your model in production, if you arrive there. 90% didn't arrive there. And then you monitor your model in order for it to know if it is drifting or it is not performing as well as it performed at the beginning. And then you need to either retrain or change the model or adjust somehow the deployment. Okay. And like Marta did with the data platform, this is all the machinery that is supporting the ML platform, that is supporting how to develop and deploy the models. There is a lot of nice technological things, and we can discuss later during the networking. But keep in mind just this. Kubeflow is our base in order to make the pipelines of training and evaluation of the life cycle that you just saw in the other slides. And then for serving, we use some different technologies. It depends on the use case. Okay. And let's go for when our both worlds clash.
Yes.
Let's look at the reality.
Well, this is our reality. This is my real face. And well, my reality is that, as I said, how to make users own of cost, because as you know, data platform is a cost. And of course, it's bringing value, but how to put it into the correct way, how to provide autonomy at scale, being sure that the process is so robust during. What are our user needs? And probably here you can help me a lot in the development environment. How to measure the infra return of investment, cost and value. And this is something that as a data platform, we are thinking every day, because we don't want to be only a cost. We believe that we are an investment, and this is needed to calculate, and it's a great challenge inside. How to assure automation, how to assure this governance, how to assure this data quality, this process, this trustable process, this trustable data, and how to ensure the security, the governance. Wow.
The compliance.
My face is like this every day,
Yeah. And I am just a use case of her platform. And I am always thinking about, okay, where is the data? I know it is in the data platform, but in which part of the data platform is the data I need for training this or those model? Will it be enough data? Or is the data legally compliant? Do I concern about data being legally compliant, or if the data platform will make the compliance for me? What else? Do I have tools to analyze that data and see whether it is statistically relevant or is it balanced? And that's it. I guess. Well, there is the fast iteration, which is the last but not least. I need enough data and enough tools to make fast iteration in depth, and this will be something that we will talk later.
Yes. Well, the first challenge, so it starts a conversation. These two words start to speak. And the first challenge is the challenge 0. It's not the challenge 1, it's the challenge 0. Is how to think about data platform not as a service and as a product. Yes. So the traditional data platform is like this. This is also real. This is my face. And of course, this is Juan.
Yeah, and this is me.
And this is the reality when a data platform is there are different requests from our users that or the data platform is not running well. My processes are not performance. What is happening here? I need this new feature. And it starts a conversation. This is a conversation.
Yeah, it's a conversation.
I need a problem. I'm from business, and you want to be very compliant and governs what is happening. I need to, and well, I don't want this, and you also don't want this. No, so we want to think about this data platform. Go as a product, and this is our faces. Also, we are like this, very happy. What does it mean for us? Something very important. A request is an opportunity to go in deep. What exactly is your problem? To understand what exactly is a data platform and for what reason we are doing the things that we are doing for assure compliance, for assure security, and so on. And it starts what I call is the difference between work for users and work with users. So you start talking about the same things, and you start a conversation trying to understand my needs, your needs, and then trying to arrive a solution and not a request that you want to solve at the moment.
Treating it as a product lets us to just to go back and forth till we find a common solution, not just to browse a catalog of services and say, okay, there is nothing that fits what I need, and I will go elsewhere, which had happened in the past.
Yeah, but this is a journey. Not all the days we are like this.
Yeah, well, reality is not perfect, but we are trying to.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it started the first challenge. I use
Yeah.
for you.
That's for me. Yeah. So a very wise guy that is called Chad Sanderson said that there is nothing more important to AA or ML models than the data itself. So choosing the correct model is important and it's needed, but whatever the model you choose, and even if it's the better that fits your problem, if you have bad data, you won't make it. Okay. And as I am not as wise as Chad Sanderson and I am more techie guy, I prefer the other way to say it, that is garbage in, garbage out. So yeah, and that's very important. I need good quality data with significance and with good statistics.
So you are telling me that the data you need into the development environment is not development environment,
It's not quality one. It's development for you.
Okay.
But for me, makes no sense because my model won't be performant if I use it.
So you need productive data for being sure that your model is correct.
That's right.
Well, this is a good challenge. And you have now one solution that is the first one. You have a job, self-serve, that you can copy the data from from productive environment to the development environment.
Yeah.
The data you need.
I see, but it doesn't fit. You know it.
And that also means a little problem. It's about compliance because, as you know, the productive is compliance, but the development environment is yours. So you have to be sure.
I have to manage it, and I don't want to manage. I am super selfish, and I don't want to manage the compliance.
Yes, and that means that when you start a new product, you have to start to execute the job. Okay.
That's right.
So the team start thinking about, well, we have a problem, we have a challenge. We have a challenge, we have a solution, so you can solve it. No,
we had a conversation, and I told her that my main point was I don't want to wait for having my data available. So I don't want to start thinking about I have to train this model. Okay, let's fire up this job for the copying all the data. So get a solution for that. And as a conversation, it was the first step, and she solved that problem.
And it's true that it also happens to not only for data science, it happens also inside the data analyst need. So
that's right.
When they are creating a dashboard, they need to be sure that the data they are using is the productive data, because if not, the insight is not there.
Yeah.
And well, we start thinking about different solutions. So on the other was, well, if every Monday, I don't know, we schedule a job for copying all the data, but this means, of course, to duplicate the data, and of course, the cost is very high. The compliance effort is medium, because the reason is when you can apply a time to leave of, for example, 30 days, and you are compliance. But it's true that, well, the effort of the team is zero because you don't have to do anything, but it's a problem in terms of compliance. And another thing that we were
and it's
thinking
a problem
about
in availability or freshness, because you have, for example, if you do it every week, or even if you do it every 2 hours, for example, that could be sensible to do, but my data is 2 hours behind my models, and that's not something that I want.
And one solution we find is that we have a meta store, Hive meta store, and we discovered that there's a federated meta store where we can access from productive data in React only. So there's no problem with security. There's no problem with terms of compliance. As we are accessing to the product environment, as the product environment is compliant, we are compliant. So we cover the 3 ones that, as you see, is read. So
So I have fresh data. I have not to bother about compliance, and I have to do nothing but train my model. So let's go for it.
Let's next. Lack of
Wow,
memory.
This one was a hard one. Okay, and this was a little bit of shame on me, I have to say. Okay, I started to access some tables, and at some point, and while getting the data for the model, I got an error, and the error was you don't have enough memory. I was trying to make a PySpark job to manage to work with the data and serve the data transform as I wanted, and it didn't fit in the memory of the PySpark nodes. And as a techie, I started to dig down and say, okay, I will change the setup, but I was not allowed to change the setup because the nodes were in the data platform, and I am not admin of the data platform. Thanks God.
But as a data platform, we are data-driven also, so we need data for better understand what is happening. So what kind of tables are you trying to?
Yeah, I was accessing table A and table B, which is non-important, but they were in Redshift.
In
that
Redshift,
was key.
perfect. And which connection you were trying?
By Spark, by all means.
Okay. Go at the next slide, yeah, or not? Well, what is happening here is that you are connecting your data from Redshift to Engine, and that is the Spark, as you say. So for lacking this problem, you have to connect directly to Redshift Engine because it makes sense for it. So the problem, that was accessing the data, I don't have enough memory, and let's go ahead with the Spark. What is happening here? No, let's change this connection, and then the problem is solved. So we collaborate, we understand the real problem, and then we solve it.
We solve it. There was nothing to do with technology, but with a collaboration. Okay, let's go.
The next one, the products, technologies, and APIs that let us collaborate. As Juan mentioned, I'm from the dark side of the data platform, and you are from the beautiful side of ML. So let's see, which is so when you are, as you mentioned, when you have a problem, you study the problem, you make this data collection, and with this data product, valuable data products, you are starting a process for trying to solve with this ML model. That means that well, we have two solutions. We have one solution that it's this data product laboratory that I've been explaining before. So you can test there, trying to do your transformation, trying to create this input data you need. And then once it makes sense, you can industrialize this process, maybe with data engineers or whatever, but you have this first one that you can use it. And of course, you can industrialize, we have different solutions with predefined libraries and cluster limitation if you want to use our solution. And if not, you can connect to the ML platform and do it yourself.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
we can work together.
Being me a techie, I even get relief because I don't have to bother about the technology that is inside. I just need to get into the APIs or whatever they provide to me and get the data. Let's go. Okay, then we have a model that is working okay, but we want to put it in production. We want to retrain it on a regular basis. But till now, we have only been working with data on demand in the dev environment. And right now, we want our data to be continuously refreshed, and we want to be our models continually trained. So we don't do it as MLE. I don't do it because I have other things to do, and I have to ask help for our data wizards, which are the data engineers. What they do is make ETLs and schedule tasks in order for the data to arrive to the touch points for our models. Okay, and this is.
You have all your problems solved. Yes.
You are too optimistic. No, I find new problems each day. So you are not done.
Challenges, please,
You are
no
not
problems.
Okay, okay. Let's call it challenges. I like the words. So, yeah, I would like to have more tools to discover more data in order for me to to see what data do we have in the company, easily to start training new use cases, new models. Okay, and as well, I want something that will make you to shiver a bit, because I want ML datasets. We have datasets, but I want ML datasets, which are, well, which have snapshots on demand that provides us with the possibility to redo experiments with exactly the same data that we used for the last experiment or 3 experiments ago, and derive features that are held in the data platform, and I don't have to have by hand, but I know that it is costly.
Have a quick question. Why you wait until this event for telling this to me? No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to bother you with too much work.
No, don't worry. It's
Okay,
a-
so summarizing. So ML datasets are a cost, but the value that they will provide to us will outweigh the cost that it will pose in the data platform. We have to talk about that.
Always. Well, and finally, the summary. Now, when data infrastructure meets machine learning, 4+1 challenges, as we have seen. First of all, data product as a service. As a service? No, as a product. Sorry. So I will be very happy if you, when you go outside, say, okay, I know a new data platform that is data platform as a product. I want to be there. Another challenge, what makes no sense building a model without productive data. So we're starting to talk about, this is very important, no? Because when we are talking about different environments, development, productive, we are talking about 2 things, no? The model itself and also the data that it's inside. So
In fact, we are talking mainly about the
Yeah.
data, because if with no data, with no quality data, the model works
and
nothing.
govern and secure, yes, I know. The lack of memory access in tables, and this is a quick, a quick win. It was very easy for me to solve it because it's only, okay, you have the solution, but it's not the one with the word
This
they
is
use.
a good example of collaboration over the technology, and it's very nice to put. That we have
Yeah.
more of these examples.
And also we have here the products, technology, and APIs that let us collaborate. And this is not only a conversation, of course, between Juan and me. This is an agreement for the ML community and also the data platform, because, as you know, we are at the same company. So this is also our strategy. And finally,
yeah, we are not alone. We have data engineers that will help us with some tasks that are outside of our scopes. And as a team in Adevinta, we will work together. Okay. So to conclude, collaboration is key.
Our face is different from the other. You have seen, no?
You can see that we are happier than in the other ones. And collaboration is key, but there is more.
Yeah, because machine learning, as you have seen, is the beautiful place is there, no? But for making it remarkable, we have to work from the basis for being sure that they have the robustness. So thank you very much. And now it's next, no?
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, I would like to introduce Professor Karina Gibert from UPC that will talk us about a wide overview of AI. Come, please. We have to set up your environment, which it's super easy and won't take even a second. Yeah. Does it work for you?
I think so.
Okay.
good one, but you Okay.
Now, Karina Gibert, professor of the UPC, dean of the College of Informatics of Barcelona, and director of EDI UPC. It's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me to that session. And I like a lot that you discuss about these things because as Dean of the Professional College on Informatics Engineering of Catalonia, we celebrate every year a very big meeting of the sector. That's la nit de les telecomunicacions a la informàtica. You probably know about it. This year, that was the first year I was co-organizing the event together with the Dean of Telecommunications Society. The topic was the basic infrastructures of the ICT technologies, and I was making a lot of emphasis in that data need infrastructures to sustain all the digital society. So thanks for working on these things, because the lemma of the session of the LANIT was ICT infrastructures invisible and imprescindible. I don't know how to translate in English, no? So we don't realize how important are all these structures. And if this is not in the right way, everything we build on top of it is in danger. So thanks for that. And they were asking me to, well, this is the research center I lead in the UPC. This is, in this moment, is the biggest public research center on AI that we have in the Southern Europe, and the one that's most singular because we have not only the bigger number of permanent senior researchers. So we are about 72 professors and associate professors with intensive research on AI. And the singular thing is that we cover all the specialities of the discipline in the same center. That is something that is not easy to find in other places. No? And one important thing to have in mind is that we are in the middle of a disruption, not only from the technological point of view, but also at the level of the social structure. So it's the United Nations in 2018 declared the end of the post-industrial society and the beginning of a new era, that's the digital society. We are all in the field, so we all know how important is the digitalization and the digital transformation everywhere. And we also know about the risks of doing this process in a non-sufficiently accurate way. No? So, of course, this has been possible because of the vertiginous development of all those technological leverages at different levels. And all these are technologies that help us to measure more strange data that is spread out in more strange places, farther. We can measure more data quicker, safer, more precisely. We can travel them in a more secure telecommunication channels. We can store in better cloud structures, and we can compute with a lot of bigger force from the high performance computers and with better cybersecurity. But nothing here helps us to understand what data is talking about. That's the job of AI and other data sciences like advanced statistics, and if you want, numerical models and these other things. But all those other techniques have limitations from the technical and applied point of view when we are trying to cope complexity. And these new technologies has been opening the door to measure, for example, I don't know, the waves in the Arctic from here, and things that open the door to query us about questions that are very complex and that we have the data to answer them, but we cannot analyze with the traditional techniques, no? So just a reminder that AI is not only the ChatGPT and the deep learning and the big data that we know from the last years, that this is something that was born in 1956, so many years ago in the Dartmouth summer school. And with the conjecture of finding if it was possible to specify the intelligent actions with sufficient precision to make machines that could imitate this intelligent behavior. No? So this has been creating like two schools. The people in the field talk about the symbolic and sub-symbolic AI. This is focusing on the processes, trying to build machines that imitate how humans solve the problems, and it is very much based on automatic logics and formal logics and all the reasoning and expert systems and knowledge-based systems and all these issues. And the other one is putting the focus on the results. So it's trying to solve the problems that require intelligence better, quicker, and with bigger problems than humans do, but not necessarily following the same processes that we use to solve the problems. No? So one is about understanding human thinking, the other one is about augmenting human thinking. One scales better than the other. This is able to cope more complexities in the models, but it's opaque. It's non-explainable. So it's difficult that can sustain human decision making. No? So we can use without problems this kind of predictions to open and close valves in productive processes and these kind of things. But if you want that health ministry closes or open a hospital, you cannot use an opaque model. Okay, so that's a little bit the way in which we are meeting now. So from the 1966, there is much more AI than the one that is famous and is on the TV today. And we should say that now there is also a lot of hype and everybody's trying to use big data for everything. But there are problems that do not need big data and there are problems that do not need AI. So we need AI, and AI is contributing to solve a problem better than other techniques only if we have a highly combinatorial searching space. So if our solution space is highly combinatorial, it merits to use AI. If not, probably we have an advanced multivariate analysis or an optimization technique that provides even sometimes exact solution to the problem, and we don't need to do all this high performance computing and all these kind of things. So a little bit of containment, provided that this is not that sustainable as expected, no? And trying to use AI when it is really necessary is also ethics. In 2010, the AI Watch was reorganizing a little bit the research areas in AI, and two important things appeared. Here you have ethics and philosophy on AI. This has been very much important from the last years. Connected and automated vehicles becomes an area per se because it contains all the complexities of robotics, plus all the complexities of ethics and all these kind of things, and it became a new area. And in where is it? In reasoning, we have now a new branch, that's explainable AI. Explainable AI copes directly with these opaque models that cannot provide explanations to the stakeholders. And what is happening now is that the symbolic and sub-symbolic AI are trying to converge, and we are trying to use the argumentative capacities of the symbolic AI to explain the opaque models of the sub-symbolic AI. So this is crucial because the state of the art in the moment is that apart from retailing sectors, we still have to find a way to properly integrate data into the decision processes in the big organizations. That's the gap. So how all this data mining, all this machine learning, all these things are really integrated in the decision making. Not the point that we get a prediction to decide if we make a marketing campaign or not, but when we are defining strategies of the companies, still there is a gap that this has not been breached sufficiently. So that's basically. So AI can work based on 3 formal pillars, I would say. One is data. We have been listening a lot about data. And basically when we are talking about modeling using data, we are elaborating over algebra, basically. So we have algebra, we sophisticate the algebra through statistics, and even more through the machine learning, right? But in AI, we do something else. That's formalizing and processing in an objective way the knowledge of the experts that cannot be easily represented with data, but that can be formalized through formal logics, these sophisticated logics that we have in AI, and that can feed on all the reasoning branch, let's say, no? And these 2 sources of information, which are different and complementary, and generate different components. So we talk about data-driven and knowledge-driven components of AI. Both require a third formality, that's programming languages to become applications and to become a reality, no? In this context of digital transformation, ethics is a framework that we cannot escape, and also this hybridation between the 2 components in the same systems. Of course, we are in front of a transversal discipline that basically is oriented to help to understand complexity, and this helps to better decision making, to anticipation when we are using predictions, and so on and so on. We are surrounded, so here I think everybody knows that this is not the future, it's the present, no? So Siris, Alexas, Roombas, GPSs, all these things contain artificial intelligence and are already in the market. These chatbots have been already middle low performance, and with the ChatGPT and this generative AI, we expect that they will improve significantly. But basically, we are in front of a technology that has a lot of power, that has the power to create a lot of progress, a lot of wellness, as all technologies that have been disrupting the development of civilizations. And as all of them, there are some uses that are no nice, that we don't like. And as we did with the knives, now we are trying to regulate. We are trying to find the space in which everybody is agreeing that we want to use AI, and the spaces in which we agree we don't want to use AI. So this is the job that Europe is trying to lead at the level of international communities in this moment. And the framework is basically the Sustainable Development Goals. And now I will show you some applications that we have been running along the years. This is a project of pandemic. So the Social Services Department was very worried about the social emergencies. So he wanted to anticipate what will happen, but we didn't have historical data at that moment. So no previous experiences on pandemics. So we move a little bit the focus. We were creating like a digital questionnaire to evaluate impact of confinement in vulnerability, and we put the AI not in the questionnaire, in the modeling of the data. No, we make like an automatic analysis of the data, but we put the AI on building the document in an intelligent way. So this now is a tool that when you have to make a decision and you don't have systemic data to analyze, to make an informed decision, you can create your questionnaire, you can launch an instance consultation, you can get the data, the AI is making the intelligent analysis is building the report, and the decision maker can directly consume this report and be executive and make decisions in front of the very recent information. No? This is what we call an intelligent decision support system. So when we talk about AI, we should think a little bit wider than predictive models, no? So machine learning is a very important part of AI. But when you have to integrate these machine learning models and these predictive models in realities, normally what you have to do is to build a bigger system that combines different pieces of different AI, visualization, and other things. So here, for example, this was a problem for hyper-personalized diets for healthy lifestyles that was taking into account all the data about the patient, all the recommendations of the nutritionist, but also the preferences of the person, so that the diets would not include those ingredients that he's not liking, or that he cannot easily find in his city, or he cannot easily afford because of the price and his conditions. Or even we were able to model here some cultural components, like, for example, that if you live in London, you have a very proteic breakfast and a very vegetal lunch and a very light dinner. But if you live in Italy, you have a hydrocarbon breakfast and a very soft lunch and a very hard dinner, more proteic. No? So these kind of things were also part of the personalization. So here is like a Meccano, if you want to see, that is interacting all the different pieces and knowledge components, recommenders, case-based reasoners, and different pieces that are solving part of the problem, and they interact all together to create the tool that is guiding all the ecosystem with all the different users, no? And here we are talking about proactive public administration. Here we were trying to build a system that is like an intelligent assistant for vulnerable persons that identifies which social services he can receive. He is eligible to receive, and he helps them to make the applications, no? And the challenge here was about finding the line of having an intelligent system that is able to understand that, for example, a lady is getting divorced, is losing the job, she has a teenager, so the recommendation is please ask for energetic bonus, for the city council paying the rent of your flat, and for asking for the lunch voucher for your kid in the school, for example, no? And how do you do this without entering in a surveillance system? So this is the challenge in Europe, because we don't want to go in a system where the state surveils the citizens, no? So to detect these changes that require a recommendation from the AI without entering in a continuous surveillance was one of the challenges that we had to solve in that problem. This is much more about high-level strategies. No, this was an older problem, but it was WHO, the World Health Organization, that was interested in developing mental health systems in the low and middle income countries, because for some reasons that I will not enter now. No, so we were using the data about the countries that they provided us, together with some extra knowledge from the experts, to run an intelligent clustering system, let's say, and to find groups of countries in similar situations regarding the development of the mental health systems, no? And then we were using some tools that were able to transfer the semantics of the different variables into the system, and were allowing us to build what we call a symbolic abstraction of the clustering. So here, even if you don't know anything about the problem, and you are not statisticians, and you are those politicians in the WHO, for a non-expert person, it's quite easy if I told you every row is a group of countries, and green is better situation, red is worse situation, no? These are variables talking about resources, hospitals, professionals, psychiatrists, money, budget, and all these sort of things. This is talking about the arrangement of the care. So if the mental health patients are under electroshocks in the hospital or are in their home with the social services, for example, and this is about political situation. No? So you don't need to know much to understand that these are terribly poor countries. We have to start from scratch there, and the intervention plan would be, let's build everything from zero, and let's put a lot of investment in those countries. And when you find here, there was Tanzania, Burundi, Ethiopia, and all these kind of countries, no? And on the other side, we have a group of countries that were good at the level of resources, but wrong at the level of what they do with the patients. So these were the countries exiting from the old Soviet Union. So mental health was prenopathic hospital, electroshock therapy, and years of isolation of the patients. No, so it is clear, and it is very easy to action. To impulse an action, and here everybody was understanding very quickly that the right thing to do here is to develop an intervention plan to transform the system. No investment need there. It was about accompanying those countries to change the arrangement of the mental health care. No? So that's when we talk about the power of AI to transform the world, we are talking about the power of explainable methods that reveal the complexity, explain what is happening, provides the symbolic picture of how the things are working, and then you can decide. If you don't cover the very last part of post-processing your machine learning models into something that can create actionable knowledge, the impact of the models is very reduced. It can go to improve sales or these more economic things, but you don't have big impact, no? And here's some other examples, and I will be very short. But for example, just to show you that this is really transversal, we have been building for 30 years in an intelligent supervisor in wastewater treatment plants. And a colleague of us in our group was creating the spin-off. And this system is assisting the head of the plant to anticipate problems, not to say you have to do something in your biological reactor, because if not, in 2 hours you will have filaments that will break the valves, for example. No, and this is installed in all the Bessos, is part of the tool that has been helping to regenerate the Bessos. You have to remember how the Bessos River was 20 years ago. It was rubbish. Now we have almost extinct animals that are recreating there, no? And it has been exported and sold all over Latin America in a lot of countries. This is about circular economy, so it's an intelligent system that is able to know from the waste of an industry which other productive systems of other industries in the area can get that waste as a byproduct and sends the alarms to try to promote the industrial symbiosis, no? So this is about circular economy. And this is beautiful. This is the one that is alive now. We are following particular species of whales that are under extinction, and we still don't know where they go to reproduce. So we are following them through satellite images now. When we find the reproduction area, we will be able to ask for the protection of the area during the reproduction. No? What about sensor data? All the machines today generate a lot of sensor data, and we can go about anomaly detection and predictive maintenance. And this is large 3D printers. This is big gas turbines. But this is particularly interesting because if you don't, if you get the failure unexpectedly, you take about 1 month because you have to go there under helicopter. to make the reparation. So it's much better that you know before, and you can planify the substitution of the component just in time, no? Ubiquitous AI in the industries, for example, to avoid incidents, to avoid collisions between machines that move, robots and humans and all these sort of things, but also technical sensors that help to identify when the worker is making a wrong movement that will generate a lesion, for example, or is driving and looking at the eyes, you can detect fatigue and these kind of things that are oriented to prevention and safety. And here is about better mobility in the cities. So here, this is a project we closed a few months ago with Beasing service, and we were finding one day before in which areas of the city there will be a discontinuation of the service. So, for example, Pyrotechnic of La Merced, you go with your bike and you keep the bike because the parking is full. And when the Pyrotechnic finish, you go by walk because there are no bikes in the station, no? So if you can detect this one day before, the service can create virtual stations that they install mobile stations in these areas to try to avoid the discontinuation of the system, no? What about language? Very quick. This was a very nice project that we were running some years ago using language AI to compare all the hydrological plans of the Atlantic coast before the Water Directive of 2000 and after. And we can emerge how the policies on water have been moved from reparation and cleaning the dirty in the water to prevention, for example, no? And now in ChatGPT, we are very prudent. We don't like to use it indiscriminately. We only use for chatbots that talk about the products that are in a public catalog of the companies, because here there is no risk that classified information of the company goes to other competitors and so on. At the end, closing. If we don't do in the right way, we risk, for example, to re-identify persons when we cross different data sets. That's not nice. We have biases in a lot of products, even in the market. So this is a black woman that discovered that his facial recognition in his cell phone is not seeing black people at all. She has to put a white mask to be able to use the facial recognition, but this is a product on the market and she pays the same as us to get it. No, so all these issues and all the fakes provided by the generative AI are not nice. And also the stereotypes that the lack of gender perspective in the creation of technology is particularly important in video games, because this is the concept of a warrior and a warrior in a video game. You see the cosification of the women here is not the best message to transfer to our teenagers, no? And this is in part a consequence of the lack of women in the sector. So there is not this gender perspective in the creation of the technology because there are no women in the sector, no? And that's one of the things that we try to arrange. So at the end, Europe wants to preserve the human rights in all the deployment of AI. That's why he has been creating this ethical model. Where is it? Here. This ethical model on the 2018. Okay, it is 8 axes. The first one is human agency and human oversight. So no AI making decisions automatically without supervision of the humans. Another one is about privacy. Another one is about biases. Avoiding the biases is very important as well. Transparency and so on and so on. And in Catalonia, we developed this Catalan strategy on AI. I was one of the experts writing the strategy for the government just before the pandemics. We launched it 1 week before the confinement. And along these years, we have been creating we are helping now the government to deploy the strategy, no? So there is a center of innovation that helps the companies to adopt AI. There is AIRA is Artificial Intelligence Research Alliance. So now we are starting with a postdoc program that will start in very, very short. The Digital Catalan Alliance is a community of startups that have a single entry point to access all the benefits of the strategy. And the Catalan Observatory of Ethics in AI is a cathedra in the University of Girona, from which I am part of the Advisory Council, no? And they have been working in a seal for ethic AI. So if you have a new AI product, you can answer a questionnaire that's public and it's available and it's for free. And you can get this thing that tells you on the 7 axes of the European model of AI if your application is more or less ethics, no? So this is an intention of promoting a market in which some of the applications can show a green seal, and consumers can choose in between 2 applications, one with green seal and one without, and so they can choose the one with green seal. No? So digital rights, we have been developing this digital rights manifesto. So every one of us have the right to know if a decision on ourselves has been mediated by an AI, and the company or the organization has to show us the criteria, and we have the right to appeal and these kind of things. And we have been making an analysis now about the biases of the digital tools that the Catalan administration is using in these days. So at the end, this is like recommendations, but the most important thing is that regulation will not arrange everything, because regulation is slow and innovation in technology is supersonic. So we will need a lot of ethics and a lot of deontology from the professional point of view to be sure that we develop ethical technologies, and ethics goes beyond compliance. So we can have a technology that is compliant with the law, that is non-ethics. So it's not enough to make compliance and to consult the lawyers. If we want to be ethics, we have to be a little bit beyond of that. And we have been creating a bachelor degree on artificial intelligence. Now the UPC is the unique university in Spain that has bachelor degree, master, and PhD on AI. And next year, the first promotion will be in the market. Then we work for the creation of female talent in AI with this Top Rosits Talent program that is in its 3rd edition. We have been injecting in the last 2 years 40 women in the market that has this AI reskilling under a gender perspective. And we are now working with the 3rd edition. That's ongoing. Ciutadania.cat is a course, an online course to create general culture on AI for the civic society. So it's like semi-gamified, and it is very, very intuitive and basic thing, but it is available to everybody, and it intends to create responsible AI users for the social society that we are building, no? And it is about, now we are making the 2nd edition. And okay, when we are talking about calling for more women, we are creating some resources on the professional college web, just showing the professional paths of our Catalan female informatic engineers, just to inspire more girls on that. And some schools are using them, and we are organized in many networks. And for example, we have the Barcelona chapter of Women in Data Science from Stanford here, and every year in April we make a meeting. And we also have now the Barcelona chapter of Women in ACM also, that has been making the 2nd event last April as well. No, one of the things that helps when we are in networks, is then we can increase our impact. So, for example, as part of the Catalan Council of Women in Catalonia, we are consulting organ from the United Nations. And last year, the lemma for the 8th March was Women, Technology and Rights of the Women. So we were invited to make the manifesto from the Catalan Council. We were sending it to the United Nations, and on the 8th March, we can go, we were there just discussing all the manifestos all over the world. No? So having these networks helps us also to try to have a more balanced and ethics technology. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Karina. Very, very, very interesting. The amount of initiatives and the amount of scope that you are covering right now. Well, I hope that if you have questions and if you have links for her because you are working in some similar initiatives or want to collaborate, approach her during the networking. Right now, we are going to the Q&A. No, there. Yeah, the upside down. Yeah, thank you. It's okay. Okay.
Questions in the
it's for you.
networking, no?
No, we have a Q&A, but then in the network, more networking. Okay, let's go for a Q&A. There is Kahoot and questions, but not yet. Yeah, I'm afraid of your questions, so I prefer to make the Kahoot before. Okay, scan the. I give you a couple of minutes for you to scan it. Okay, I guess everybody has it. Okay, and I need to unplug. Because Slido is a little bit not privacy compliant. and if I have Slido in the screen, you will see wherever the rest of your mates are answering, and you will use the okay. Everybody is saying C, so I will say C as well, and it won't be fair. Okay. Just a second. It will start in a second. Okay. It's a long path, but it's coming. Okay. You can join right now. Do you see it? Okay, I see people coming. Okay. Welcome, Mark. Welcome, Tim. Welcome, Martin or Martin. I don't know. Welcome, Kep. Welcome, Albert. Welcome, Jordi. Welcome, Kay. Welcome, iBorg. Will it be assimilated or something like that? I am starting to be really scared. Okay. Just some seconds more for the last ones to join. Okay. Let's start. First question. Garbage in. You have 30 seconds. Be quick. Okay. Okay. By all means, you are quick. Let's go for it. I have the answer. This is a little bit, I don't know if you see it. Do you see the answer, the correct answer? Okay, then that's fine. Okay. And here is the leaderboard. Tim is leading, Alejandro is on second place, and Kev is on third place. Let's go for the second one. Data life cycle consists on, try to remember. You have the slide as a clue. Were you paying attention? Were you not? Were you thinking about the pizzas? Okay. So let's go for the correct answer. Oh, pretty good. And let's review the leaderboard in the second question. Martin has come to the first position. Tim is in the second, and Kev keeps the third position. Let's go for the third question. What about the data engineer role? Does he or she... Oh, that was quick. Okay. Okay, let's see what was the correct question. This was more, was not so clear. Let's go for the leaderboard. Okay, somebody called Mark. It's on the first place. Joaquin is on the second place, and Jordi is on the third place. It has changed a lot. Let's go for the next question. In machine learning programming, how does it work? Okay, we are almost there. 2 seconds, 1 second, hurry up. Time's over. And the correct answer was, I guess this slide was clear. Okay, and the leaderboard hasn't changed much. These three guys seem to were paying a lot of attention. Okay, next one. Let's go with the copy, brought data into the app. Wow. Oh, yeah. Did we pay the bills this month? Okay, time's up. And the correct answer was all of them. Let's go for the leaderboard. Wow, these three are on fire. Next question. Data generates value. When or where does it generate value? By the way, to make it a little bit more thrilling, there is only pizza for one. So make your best, because if not, you are not having dinner, at least here. Okay. Let's go for the correct answer. I'm just kidding. There is pizza for everybody. Okay, the correct answer was all along the chain. And yeah, that it has not changed much. Whoa. Okay, data platform as a product. Okay, let's go for the correct answer because everybody has answered, has already answered, and the correct one was allows better collaboration than the other options. Okay, leaderboard. Don't move. People these three people are on fire. My God. Okay. It estimated that. Okay. Wow, everybody on time. And the correct answer was 90%. Yeah. And my job is to lower this percentage because it's awfully higher. Okay, let's go for the next one. Well, the leaderboard, sorry. And the leaderboard has not changed. Okay. What will happen in the future between Marta and I? It's a pity that you can't see the statistics that I am seeing because people is doubting, people is answering something else. It's very nice. And the correct answer is enabling this discoverability and data sets. Let's go for the leaderboard. It has changed. Now Joaquin is leading, Alejandro is in second place, and Kay is in third place. Congratulations to all of you. What is this hashtag data ML teléfono rojo? Red phone for the people that doesn't speak Spanish. Okay, this is the last one. And the correct answer for this one was all of them. We have not talked about that. It was on a Slack channel and it was used with as a funny thing for the Kahoot. And the leaderboard is Joaquin first with 10 answers of 10, Alejandro with 9 of 10, and Mark Maikas with 9 of 10. And this is the end of the quiz. Thank you for thank you for participating.
Okay,
and
okay.
that's your part. I don't step on your toes. Go ahead, please.
No. Who is the winner?
It's a guy called Joaquin Ocon with 10 out of 10.
Well, Joaquin, congratulations. The pizza and also this one. Here, please, a photo. Take a photo with us.
With the prize,
With the
please.
prize here. Yeah.
Congrats. Full transparency. Joaquin works in my team here in Adevinta, but he has not seen the Kahoot beforehand.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. Let me plug it back.
Okay. So now it's a moment for questions. So it's your moment.
Yes, let me plug it back. And,
So Karina, Didac, if you want to sit here or stand up, don't worry. Yeah. So any question for Karina, for us?
yeah.
You are hungry? You there? Okay.
Your moment for no mercy.
We have computers.
First of all, thank you for the presentation. It was very informative and it energized me. I had a question for Professor Gibert, because I heard from you what's going to be the future, but during your presentation, you said, well, AI is the present, and you missed to say what is the future then, just in general terms, without being maybe too long.
For me, one important track that we are solving now and that must become standard in the future is that data provides added value to decision makers in all organizations every day. So we need to make systematize this link. That's one track. The other one is that we will move from this voracious big data, high performance computing AI to a hybrid systems that combine knowledge components with data driven, so that we can be a little bit more moderate or more in the use of the computational resources. No, so we need to rationalize the use we are doing of the big data at that moment. I think there is an important track that is on your stage. Sooner or later, so now we are having a very intense debate that can be synthesized by big data or right data, no? Sorry. I'm in the middle of an allergic episode. So this is about, for example, I will use an image that I think it illustrates very much the thing. No? So most of us, we have these smartwatches. No? Most of them are measuring our temperature every 5 seconds. All these temperatures tend to be normal all the time. No? And only in a very rare situations we experiment fever or something significant. So do we really need to spend all those data centers storing all this data that has zero information all the time? So this is terribly non-sustainable, terribly expensive. When you run data-driven models on these data that is telling nothing else that the person is good all the time except 3 days a year, you are just wasting computational efforts, energy. You know that to keep the data centers alive with clear energy, we should have more than 3 million aerogenerators installed in the world, only to store the data without processing it. So I think one of the most important things we have to work in the next years is in finding other ways to store the big data that allows to I don't know, to compress and decompress. I don't know what we will have to do, but to synthesize the information in such a way that we will escape for the tables when we are talking about big data that contains only rare events all the time. No? And this must change all the way we are processing the machine learning and everything. And this is something that sooner or later we should have to work with, because we cannot sustain this spending, no sé com es diu, no? En anglès.
Waste of resources.
So that's another track that is very, very critical. The other one, of course, is how we encompass the innovation with the regulation. So here there is something that we have to find how to make these two speeds in a dialogue, no? And this is very critical. So Europe wants to lead this ethical debate, but Europe is not generating important technologies. They are basically coming from other spaces where there are not that much limitations, no? So how, what is the cost, the real cost of the ethical implementation of AI in terms of time to market, cost of production, cost of opportunity, loss of performance in the models, because of course, if you only can train your model with the consented data, you will use much smaller data, so the precisions will not be the same as those models trained in China, no? So how do we find a way to keep the European industry highly competitive in the international market while it is following the ethical guidelines? So this is a very, very important issue. If we don't solve this issue, in fact, we will lose this thing, because when you are not competitive in the global market, you die. And when we don't have ethical proposals alive, the other part needs not to respect the desires of Europe. No? So this is a geopolitical issue that will definitely mark how the market moves in the next years, I think.
Completely agree. So there has been two topics on your speech. It's one is ecology and energy and waste of resources. As a optimistical techie guy, I guess that we need to stop wasting resources, but I think that we will improve our technology in order to do it. Not, for example, not in storage, because I am not in that part, but for example, in computing, we have right now accelerators that spend more or less power that processors in other ages to make the same work. No? And in the other hand, talking about regulations and ethics, I guess that the strength of Europe, you nail it, is not in the technology by itself, because US and China are before us.
It's about investment.
Yeah. But we have a strength because we are a big market, and they have to bend to the regulations of our market in order to sell in our market. And this is our strength. We are more than 700 million people with a lot of money in terms of all the world standards, and we have a strong regulation that China wants to comply, because if not, they will never sell their services or their products in the CEE space.
But we have to take into account how difficult it is to detect when a product on AI that is working in Spain or is commercialized in Spain is failing on, implementing the regulation is not that easy. So you should have robots everywhere in the internet just spying what is traveling there, and we will not do that. So regulation is nice, and it's true, and it will be very nice when these registers will be implemented, so that before going to the market, you should pass all these tests and things. But still, we are not commercializing chairs. We are commercializing something that is immaterial, intangible, that flies on the cyberspace, no frontiers, no. So how you control what is happening really in the cyberspace is not that easy. So this is one of the discussions from the lawyer's point of view, no? So that they formulate very nice limitations, and then the technical part is, okay, how are you going to see? How are you going to detect?
I completely agree. We could talk about this for hours. I think it's a super interesting topic. We can, in the network, we can retake it and go deeper on it. But I'm afraid of your questions, but I know that they are necessary. So let's go back to our public to make more questions.
Hello, thank you for the presentations. I would like to ask you why it's so important to your company to change the business model from the data platform as a service to as a product, a part of the answer of the Kahoot.
Yeah, well, From my point of view, as a user of the data platform, it's because of flexibility. So with a data platform as a service, I have a catalog of services, and for me, it's very difficult to push these services or the boundaries of these services. But with a data platform as a product, I can just start a conversation and bend the product and get new features as I need it. They take time. They are not instantaneous, but they could be done. With the services catalog, I have to wait until the catalog expands, and it's not that easy. However, I guess that Marta has deeper knowledge because she doesn't have only my use case, but a lot of other use cases from other parts of the company.
Yeah, from my perspective, the main difference is that you start thinking about a data platform as someone that have to help you. And the main difference is that I'm not here for you. I'm here for a common goal that it's take advantage from data. That be sure that, as says Karina, the data is at the company for making decisions. And with this common goal for all the company, my part of it is just build something easy to use for our users. But when it arrives a request, as is a common goal, I have to ask Juan, I have to ask Diaz, which is the return of investment of what you are trying to know? What are the return of investment of this ML model that for that reason you need this feature? Because I have to prioritize with this. Because my goal is not to have, happy users. My goal is contribute for being a data-driven company. And for that reason, my core are not the infrastructure. Is to be sure that inside my data platform, there are a lot of data products with a lot of reusability, and be sure that not every use case, for example, has a data pipeline, because that means a waste. It's about efficiency, as says Karina also. So for me, the main difference is that the common goal is not an NPS. So for me, have happy users is not the goal, It's just to have the results for the company. And of course, I have one part, thanks from me, another part that you have to look for these use cases, these lovely use cases, and of course, I will help you a lot during this process and how to scale and to be focused on it. Because it's not, the goal is not why you are having a data platform, why you need a storage. It's for something more important for the company. And from my point of view, this is the main difference. And this conversation starts when you are receiving a request, or you are saying, "Oh, this is not scalable. I need real-time use data," and I ask, "Which is your use case?" It's needed. I understand that when you are taking real decisions or it's automatic, you need this. Because I'm not finding the word, but you don't need in real time your data. So these kind of things that normally when you are talking about a service is something that it doesn't mind the value I will bring to my company. You have to listen to me because it's your business. No, my business is not you. My business is the business. And also with you, of course. But we are in the same conversation. Yeah. And this is from my point of view, this is the main difference between.
Yeah. So it's a drawback for us, for our team, because we have to compete with the other teams and we have to explain why our proposal has a better ROA than the other teams. But from a company point of view, it's better for the whole company.
From a PM to a fellow PM dealing with data scientists as well, I would like to ask you, how do you prioritize all these inputs that are coming, all these capabilities needs, when usually when you speak with data scientists, they say, in my simulations, I see that precision can increase this percent, but I need this and put it in production so I can do an A/B test and then just evaluate what's the business of it. So how do you manage that?
Well, thinking about a product also means thinking about how the rules inside data are coming, no? So it's understand the data lifecycle, it's understand the data value chain, it's understand the process of an ML from the beginning, from the final. So we think at the product, and I have to solve all these situations. And when we are receiving a request, probably I have the solution, but it's not the better for you. But maybe I have an MVP for you. And of course, if this happens a lot, if there are more like you, more data science, more model that needs this, maybe it makes sense to think about how to industrialize and how to be. But the most important thing for me is, okay, no, the three solutions we have for the development environment, production environment, the first step is you have a solution. No, you don't have to wait. Probably it's not the better solution. Well, and probably say, well, it's not automatic. I have to put, well, but you have the solution, no? So maybe it's more important to have a solution. It doesn't matter if it's automatic or not, but being sure that all the development cycle of an ML model is solved. And of course, think about not only the present, the AI is here. So the new technologies will come, no? The Gen AI, the different challenge in terms of data management is putting to us, no? And trying to have this, the MVP, all the solutions, and then iterate. It depends on the number of requests you have. And trying to convince the other, no, being sure that, well, having this feature, it takes time. We can start like this. It's okay for you? Or you can pay me something for having more people. No, it's the return of investment. It's another kind of conversation. Yeah, thank you.
More questions? Pizza questions? Okay. So
Pepperoni or?
pepperoni or veggie pizza?
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
no?
to you for attending. Thanks for your questions, and let's go for it.
Yeah.